this session, we're going to talk about hospitality. You know, hospitality has become a lost art. Many people are lonely and they would love to be in your home for a meal or to spend the night if they're a weary traveler. Much prefer it over a hotel. But many women are afraid of exerting hospitality because they don't know how anymore. They don't know how to make it work, and it feels overwhelming to them. So we're going to try to diffuse some of that fear today. There are 3 different kinds of hospitality. One is the quick thing where your husband or child brings home a friend or a business associate, and you have to get your act together fast. The second kind is an elaborate, well-planned out meal. And the third kind is what you do when people are going to come and live at your house for a protracted length of time. You know, the optimum time to have people stay at your house or for you to stay at someone else's is 3 days. Benjamin Franklin had that funny phrase, fish and visitors stink after 3 days. So he thinks it's a good idea to vamoose, get out of there after 3 days if you're a guest. And if you have guests, you need to talk about that ahead of time. What is the limit of your available time to have company? But let's go back to the first kind, which is that quick, rapid hospitality that you have to fly to get together in a matter of minutes. Okay, let's say someone is just coming up the walk and you see them out the window and you think, okay, they're going to be here and probably for a meal. What do? Well, you do 2 things before they get to the front door. First of all, you send your children out to occupy them and ask them questions and greet them and show them around the property perhaps. Or talk with them, just stall them a little bit. In the meantime, you run into your bathroom, your guest bathroom, the bathroom that your guests will be using. And you take a paper towel that you have already underneath the sink and you quickly clean up the bathroom sink. And then you do something with yourself. Go throw on a nicer dress or a better looking top or something that's in your color and put a couple of barrettes in your hair, get yourself and brush your teeth. So you want to get yourself looking spiffy and you want to get your bathroom looking spiffy. And the reason is those are the first 2 interfaces that people will deal with when they come to your home. It doesn't matter if the rest of your house is a mess. If the bathroom is clean, you can wipe a paper towel around the seat as well of the toilet. You just want it to be looking perky when they come. Why do you do those 2 things while they're walking up the front walk or down the hallway to your condominium or wherever it is you live, your apartment? Because you cannot do those 2 things when your guests arrive, when you're with the guests. That little window of opportunity is over. But you can chop vegetables and prepare meals while you're talking to your guest. So those things work out well when the people are already in your home. So you have to have tended to those other 2 things first or they never get done. Okay, so that's how you handle the first interface. Then what do you do for a meal? Well, you have thought about that way ahead of when an expected guest arrives. And how do you do that? Well, you plan like 2 or 3 meals that are absolutely super easy and you know how to do them while you're talking with your guests. If they're in brand new recipe, you're going to need to concentrate on that new recipe and your guest is going to be left twiddling their thumbs. You are called upon for a high job here, and that's to entertain the company as well as fixing the meal. So you have to have done that meal over and over. So I recommend rice in a rice cooker, something that's packaged, maybe a dehydrated soup, and all you have to do is add hot water and some toast or biscuits or muffins or whatever you want to go with that. Have that always in your pantry. Let's say you want to do a tuna melt. Well, then you need a couple of cans of tuna and some pineapple chunks and some cheese and some bread in your refrigerator and in your cupboard at all times. So that when they come, you just mix up your tuna, pour in your pineapple, spread it on your bread, and top it with cheese and put it in your broiler, and there you have a very tasty meal, and it didn't take thought or effort. If they're going to be there for a couple of hours before the meal starts, then just do rice in a rice cooker. Do double the amount of water for the amount of rice you need, and then put some frozen vegetables over the top and sprinkle some curry on it. Have your recipes, 2 or 3 of them, already figured out and always stocked in your cupboards, and you will never be at a loss. Now, I have a relieving thought for you. Do you realize that when you serve your guests, it is not the Last Supper? Remind yourself, you are not serving the last supper they will ever eat. They can even leave your place and go out and eat something else later. All you want to do is put something warm and cozy in the tummy so that their impression of being with you was that you loved them and you cared about them. So you want to give them acceptance, and you want to give them love, and you want to give them comfort. That's the goal of your hospitality. When they arrive, you don't want to think, oh dear, what about me? You want to think, not here am I, but oh, there are you. So it's a mindset in your heart about what you're doing with strangers or friends or people that are coming by your home. So that's for a quick meal. Second meal is that elaborate, polished meal. How do you do one of those? Well, first of all, you write everything down. You write what you're going to have. You write the time it needs to be put in the oven. So you write a schedule for yourself of timing, and you decide what you're going to wear, and you write that down, and what music you will play in the background, and what kind of dishes you're going to use. So you immaculately work this out on paper. And then you make the majority of the meal the day before. Because always on the day when you're serving an elaborate meal, there are extra details that show up unexpectedly that you're going to be called upon to do. So you want to get all of that done, the bulk of the work done, the day before. So all you have to do is pop something in the oven and have the fresh flowers and be free yourself to entertain your guests. So if you're going to do an elegant meal, the secret is preparation. Lots of preparation, detailed preparation. Okay, now let's talk about the third kind. And that's the kind that's kind of a long-term emergency. Someone's building a house and they need to stay at your house after their rent runs out, their rental lease, and they need to use up those weeks, or they need to come there because a relative is sick and needs that kind of hospital treatment. There's lots of different reasons why somebody might need to stay at your house more than 3 days. Now, if that is the case, draw your boundaries before they come. For example, you can say, you're welcome to use the kitchen. I'll give this cupboard to you, and you can have this side of the fridge, or if you have another fridge in the garage, I recommend you get one, by the way. Always have a second fridge in the garage, and your guests can put their things there and then feed themselves out of that refrigerator, and then it doesn't tamper with your refrigerator at all. You can get a used one and have it there for those kinds of needs. So either that or divide your fridge. So you want to shore up the boundaries before they come. And you can say, you're welcome to feed your family. I can't be involved in the meal preparation. And then if you want to serve them a meal when they're there, that's an extra luxury. That's something that was unexpected. You see, it's much better to do it that way than have them arrive and expect you to fix all the meals, and then on the days you say, I've had it, I can't, I don't have any more energy. Then it's disappointing and friction begins to mount up. So it's better to start with very low expectations of what you will need to do or perform. Even if it's bring your own sleeping bags, or you always have a floor you can give to guests. It's the meal that exhausts the woman and dive bombs her even eagerness to let the people come. So if you can conquer those two by defining your boundaries quickly in the beginning, you're going to have a lovely time with those people, and it won't get into awkward situations and stresses that you didn't sign on for. So my encouragement today is open your home for hospitality. There are very few homes doing that anymore, and it represents a loving heart. It's well worth doing, and you have no idea what it means to other people. Thank you for watching.